National Review, specifically, suspect in ABC station shooting left a note warning Trump officials they are next. Prosecutors believe the suspect who allegedly opened fire on the ABC 10 station in Sacramento on Friday was politically motivated, explaining that a search of the suspect's vehicle yielded a note that criticized members of the Trump administration and appeared to reference the recent assassination of Charlie Kirk. The Sacramento Police Department executed a search of 64-year-old Anibal Hernandez Santana's home, where they not only found the semi-automatic 9mm handgun he allegedly used to fire into the station multiple times, but also various pieces of evidence that suggested that he was motivated. Okay, so they kill the story right there. But NBC News reports similarly. People have also dug up what they say are tweets of his where he makes a bunch of inflammatory comments. So we've already talked in great deal about how this, in my opinion, motivated Disney to bring Jimmy Kimmel back. My question is, Trump has designated Antifa a terror organization. We're going to get into all that. But we are now dealing with, I mean, this is a week and a half after a political assassination. They're threatening to do it again. Mm-hmm. And Disney is giving in. Where do we go from here?
And it's a year after the two attempts on the life of the president. You know?
Right. Do you think Bob Iger's so insane that despite the news of this being a leftist, he still thinks it's right-wing violence coming for him? Or do you think they actually understand the reality of leftists?
They know. They know for a fact. But you don't spend millions of... I will tell you this, Bob Iger probably spends $5-10 million a year on security. Yeah. He's the CEO of Disney. And his security guards aren't coming to him and lying. They're not going to go to him and be like, yeah, it's groupers. No, he's paying for real, legit guys. And they're saying the threat is the left.
I hope so. Because these people are insane, too. And like, despite showing some of these people facts, I know you're saying the security team, but there's people I know in the real world, not like Iger, obviously, who despite me showing them the facts, they still will believe the opposite.
Oh, yeah. It's possible, but Good.
No.
I mean, it's possible, but I don't see why, like, he's got, like Tim said, he's got very high-level security. Yeah. These guys are the top of the line when it comes to personal security and stuff. And I don't see why he would be like, no, man, I'm sure that it's the other guys. And to be honest with you, from his perspective, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, it's like it's I have a security concern. It doesn't matter who's going to be doing the issues, you know, who the person might be or what their politics might be. Right. It's just a security concern.
He's 74 years old. So what kind of politics do you think he might have?
Like Joy Behar.
Well, it might be, indeed.
If he's in his 70s, maybe he remembers what the late 60s and early 70s were like with all the left-wing bombing and all the attacks and stuff. Because, you know, you see the comments about how the right is the perpetrators of most political violence, and they always started at like 1975. They never go back to 65.
Iger.
Because,
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Iger left the Democratic Party in 2016.
Hey.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he dropped his party affiliation to independent.
Okay.
However, it doesn't mean a lot, but I have to imagine that, you know, they say online he described himself as a centrist. I think it's fairly obvious.
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
I think we should expect to see more terror because the left is basically saying right now, terror works. The fact that Jimmy Kimmel is coming back on the air, they've asserted the threat of death it works. And you know, what's crazy is the thought leaders, the movers and the shakers of the Democratic Party and the left don't need to get their own hands dirty because they've got a bunch of stochastic terrorists, or I should say they are the stochastic terrorists invoking the terrorism. They are the people going on TV and saying, oh, won't someone rid me of this priest? And then people go and do it.
I mean, look, just like Arlen was saying today on your interview with him, you need the federal government to do its job, right? Like we don't have a system where people can take these issues into their own hands. And even if you hired private investigators or private security, you still need law enforcement to actually do the grabbing of the bad guys, right? Like for it to be illegal. You could have private investigators, private security, they might be able to hold someone if they catch them, but it's going to be law enforcement that's going to pick them up, and it's going to take a Justice Department that actually does want to lower the amount of violent crime that's happening. And I don't know that we have that yet. We have a lot of judges that'll let people go. We have a lot of DAs that don't want to prosecute, and that's one of the biggest problems America faces for not just the next couple years, but probably for the next couple decades, is how do we get these DAs and these judges to actually put people in jail when they align with the judge politically?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the sad thing is in this case, when you have, these organizations like MSNBC just radicalizing grandfathers across the country, I mean, no matter what laws you have on the books, and even if you're enforcing them, like, you can't stop some MSNBC American from crashing out and shooting up an ABC studio. I mean, it's just the environment we're in is like we need a top-down cultural change as well.
Yes.
Because this is just completely unacceptable. You have these atomized boomers that, I mean, they feel like Jimmy Kimmel is this victim of a fascist government crackdown and they need to do something about it. I mean,
And they made it up.
yeah, like what laws could you pass to prevent that from happening?
Like I mentioned this earlier that I went on Piers Morgan today, and every single person was like, the FCC did this to Jimmy. And I was like, that's nowhere in the reporting. Nowhere, literally not reported anywhere. The FCC actually had in any way contact. And, Kat Tiff's argument was, so are you saying it's a coincidence? And I'm like, well, honest question for you guys. Do you think that Bob Iger was watching the Benny Johnson podcast?
I don't know anymore. Anything's possible.
I'd say probably not.
Yeah.
I do think that his statements, which made it to the news, probably trickled its way into the conversation. But that wasn't in the ear of Dana Walden or Bob Iger. What was in their ear was that advertisers called them and were upset, and so were affiliates. And so, with all due respect to Benny, I do think the FCC thing was big and it played a role, but they have to say this because the story has to be about Trump. It can't just be that Disney was like, we don't want to lose money, so you're fired.
What are the odds you think, and this is going to sound like a crazy statement, but I'm going to say it anyway, that Kimmel comes out and tries to do something unifying? I mean, he can't because he's horrible.
The reporting is he won't apologize.
Even if that, I mean, I know he won't apologize, but I feel like there's a small percentage that he's going to try. It won't work.
I think what he's going to say is he's going to. So what's the guy's name? Is the guy was on the Piers Morgan, John Fugelsang or something? I'm not trying to mispronounce his name on purpose. He was saying that Jimmy Kimmel was 100% factually correct, that MAGA was trying to paint this man as anything but a MAGA guy. What he's saying is that, no, we know he wasn't MAGA. And those Trump supporters were trying real hard to make sure everybody else did too. But that's not the implication being made by Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel, the way he said it was, they tried, I'm paraphrasing, but really hard to make people believe he wasn't anything but one of their own. The implication, of course, being he was. Jimmy Kimmel's going to come out and say, the point that I made on my show was that we know this guy wasn't a MAGA guy, and boy, were Trump supporters trying real hard to make sure everybody heard that. He's not going to apologize, but he is going to say, I had already issued a statement saying the shooting was horrible. So this was in no way intended to offend anybody, and it was taken out of proportion. Then I think he's going to criticize Trump supporters for intentionally twisting his words for political reasons. Mm-hmm. He's going to say, Trump's base did this. They knew what I meant, and they did this to try and get my show canceled. He's then going to attack the FCC and say they intentionally targeted the networks. I believe that's what it'll say, something to that effect. Mm-hmm. So it will be somewhat of course the shooting is bad. But the reason why I think that, maybe I'm wrong, is because that's what every liberal, mainstream liberal, is trying to do right now. Of course Charlie Kirk shouldn't die, but he was evil, right? So why wouldn't he do anything different?
Yeah, I mean, Kimmel saw Colbert, how he got the king treatment. Oh, you're this martyr. You're stomped all over by this authoritarian government. Of course, Kimmel wants that. He's not going to fumble that. That's a once in a week opportunity because this is going to last 2 days and then we won't hear about it. But yeah, he's not gonna let that slip through his fingers. He has the chance to be the martyr.
And we shouldn't be surprised. Also, he is a ghoul who was mocking the unvaccinated just a few years ago. I mean, this guy is a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but he did work for a network where his friend was the announcer, and the network fired his friend for not getting the vaccine. And the funny thing about, shout out to Dickie Barrett, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and the Defiant, that's who he's with, the Defiant. He worked remote. He didn't go in the studio, and they said, get vaccinated. He's like, but I work from home, and they're like, we don't care.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Yeah. And then Jimmy Kimmel went on his show and said, here's an idea. If you're dying and you go to the hospital, vaccinated right this way, not vaccinated, sorry, Wheezy, there's the door. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. Basically saying, you should just die.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And that was the callousness with the way that he treated people that, you didn't want to get vaccinated. I don't see why anyone should consider him a good faith actor at all. And, so the fact that he's coming back, I think, is a big L.
Disney's in trouble. They all the past several Marvel movies have flopped miserably. They've really burned that franchise. Star Wars, wow. I mean, look, I can pull up Disney Plus and I can see everything wrong. They're just lighting all their IP on fire. It's terrible.
Yeah.
There's actually this is a pretty big story that we don't really cover this stuff. Do you guys know that Disney actually just erased a bunch of shows and movies permanently, forever? You can never see them again.
Really?
Yeah.
Which ones?
I can look up a list.
What was the motivation to delete all?
Save space, and because they were owned by Disney, they are not carried anywhere else.
That's what they did with the Moon Files.
That's right.
Is NASA running Disney?
Dude, if Trump and RFK can truly, find the cure for autism, then the Star Wars franchise is in serious trouble. It's beyond
That is
repair.
epic news. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not getting Tylenol ads anymore on Canada. Say that much.
I mean, Star Wars has been dead for a long time.
Yeah.
I haven't watched anything Star Wars in a long time, and I was when I was a kid, I was very into.
They don't even make toys for kids anymore. It's for like millennials.
Yeah.
Toy millennials, actually. That's the correct term.
So they apparently they do this. Have they done it before or not? I can't tell. All I know is okay. So they may periodically do this. This is actually kind of crazy. Yeah. They're Disney Plus exclusive shows. It's kind of the weirdest thing because we've never actually had something like this happen. One example is Willow, the series based on the movie with who's the actor, famous guy.
Series based on
Willow, the movie.
Willow, like the.
I'm just going to say Peter Dinklage.
Warwick Davis.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
I know it's
Warwick.
Warwick.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He played,
legendary actor. He's in everything. He was in the Willow movie. They did a show about it.
Yeah.
So the crazy thing is, I'm sure there are. Here's the thing. There are shows that are short-lived. You can find them.
Yeah.
You can look up old tape archives of like a show that got 7 episodes and then it just got pulled or whatever. And you go, wow, didn't even know about that. It's crazy that we're in an era now where Disney's like, no one can stream this but us. And then they're like, let's delete it. And now it's gone literally forever.
It's like a Mandela effect
Right?
actually happening. It's like the Shaq movie that didn't
I learned.
happen.
Okay, I'm going to say this real quick before we go to the next segment. But we now have proof that we're in a simulation.
Okay.
The seahorse emoji.
The seahorse emoji.
There isn't one.
What?
What?
Have you ever seen a seahorse emoji?
There's a Bill Gates pregnant one.
Sure, but have you ever seen the seahorse emoji?
I
haven't.
swear up and down.
Ask any AI. Ask any AI and see what happens.
See, this is how they mess with us.
Is it going to print a seahorse emoji?
No, it's going to give you they're all going to give you the exact time and date of when the seahorse emoji was added to the Unicode base and then fail to produce it and then start having a heart attack and going schizo, saying, I don't understand why it won't appear. I know it exists. And when all of the AI programs say it does exist, it was made, but then you go online and it's not there.
CERN has been on.
I asked Grok and it just said they showed me the dolphin emoji. So they just,
Ask ChatGPT.
just lied.
ChatGPT gave me unicorn and horse.
And then, but what did it say?
I told it print seahorse emoji, and then it said, "Are you looking for conch shell or seal? Here is the actual seahorse emoji," and then it's fish unicorn, and then correction. Oh, and then it goes correction.
Yep.
It's actually coral unicorn, and then it goes the actual seahorse emoji is fish unicorn. Oh, it did spaz out.
It
What are they
spazzes out.
hiding?
And then ask it when it was added, and all of the AIs will give you a comparable answer. In June of 2014, Unicode base updated with the seahorse emoji, but Google it, and they'll all tell you it never existed, and you're crazy.
Has anyone checked if seahorses are still out there in the world
What?
right now? Maybe they've disappeared as
If a
well.
what is out in the world?
Seahorse.
Like a horse?
Oh,
that-
I see what you're doing, Tim. I don't like it.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.